Most people think you need a perfect memory, straight A's, or some special talent to be smart. They think intelligence is something you're born with. But here's the truth nobody tells you. You don't need to be naturally gifted to be smart. You don't need to know everything. You don't even need to be the best student in the room. You just need to think the way smart people think. And the good news, that's something you can learn. Today, I'm going to show you 5 simple ways smart people use their brains differently. These aren't complicated techniques. They don't require years of study. But most people never figure them out. If you start using even one of these, you'll notice change is fast. Problems won't overwhelm you as much. People will start asking for your advice. You'll feel calmer, more confident, and more in control of your life. So let's dive in. The first thing smart people do differently is this. They don't fight to be right. Most people turn disagreements into battles. Someone disagrees with them and suddenly it's war. They raise their voice. They get defensive. They try to prove the other person is wrong, ignorant, or stupid. But smart people don't do that. When someone disagrees with them, they don't attack. They get curious. Instead of arguing, they ask questions. Real questions. Not sarcastic ones. Not questions designed to trap the other person. They say things like, "Help me understand why you see it that way. What experience made you think this? Can you walk me through your reasoning?" They're not trying to win. They're trying to learn. And here's the surprising part. When you stop fighting and start asking, people relax. They stop defending themselves. They open up. That's when real conversations happen. That's when people actually listen to you. That's when minds change, including yours. Smart people understand something most people don't. You can't force someone to agree with you, but you can help them think more clearly. And when people think clearly, they often change their own minds without being pushed. The second thing smart people do is this. They see the big picture. Most people get trapped in the moment. They fail one test and decide they're stupid. They get rejected once and think they're not good enough. They have one bad day and assume everything in their life is falling apart. Smart people don't think like that. They zoom out like pulling a camera back. They don't see one failed test. They see a pattern. Maybe they studied the wrong way. Maybe they were exhausted. Maybe they need help in one specific area. They don't see rejection as proof of failure. They see it as information. They ask themselves, what can I learn from this? What does this tell me? What should I try differently next time? When you zoom out, problems stop feeling personal. They turn into puzzles, and puzzles can be solved. Smart people don't panic over one moment. They look at trends, patterns, and long-term progress. They ask, what's really going on here? What can I control? What's my next move? They don't overreact. They plan. The third habit is a big one. Smart people only worry about what they can control. Most people waste an unbelievable amount of energy worrying. They worry about what others think. They worry about the future. They worry about things that might happen. They worry about things they can't change. And all that worry does one thing: it drains them. Smart people live by a simple rule. If I can't control it, I don't spend mental energy on it. Think about it. You can't control the weather. But you can control bringing an umbrella. You can't control what people think about you. But you can control being honest, respectful, and kind. You can't control whether you get the job, but you can control how prepared you are for the interview. This mindset saves massive amounts of energy. Instead of stressing, smart people use that energy to improve, adapt, and solve real problems. When you stop worrying about everything, you finally have the strength to fix what actually matters. The fourth thing smart people do is underrated, but powerful. They use quiet as a tool. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. When a conversation gets quiet, they rush to fill the space. They talk just to talk. They say whatever pops into their head. Smart people are different. They're comfortable with quiet. They pause before speaking. They listen more than they talk. They let other people finish their thoughts. And here's something interesting. Silence makes people pay attention. When you pause before answering, people assume your words matter. When you listen without interrupting, people feel respected and understood. Quiet people often seem smarter not because they know more, but because they choose their words carefully. Try this next time. When someone asks you a question, don't answer immediately. Count to 3 in your head. Then speak. You'll notice your answers become clearer, calmer, and more thoughtful. The 5th habit might be the most powerful of all. Smart people pause instead of reacting. Most people react instantly. Someone cuts them off in traffic, they get angry. Someone says something rude, they snap back. Something goes wrong, they complain or give up. Smart people pause. When something triggers them, they take a breath. They create space between the situation and their response. They ask themselves, is this worth my energy? What's the smartest way to handle this? How do I want to show up right now? When someone is rude, they don't immediately fight back. They think this person might be having a bad day. What response would actually help? This isn't weakness. This is control. The person who stays calm while everyone else loses control, that person has power. The person who thinks while others react, that person makes better decisions. And over time, those better decisions change everything. Here's what all of this means. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room. You don't need to know everything. You don't need perfect grades or a fancy education. You just need to think differently than most people. Ask questions instead of arguing. Look for patterns instead of panicking over single problems. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. Get comfortable with silence. Pause before reacting. Most people won't do this. They'll keep arguing, worrying, and reacting emotionally. But if you practice these 5 habits, something amazing happens. You start seeing solutions where others see problems. You stay calm when others feel overwhelmed. You make smarter choices because you're thinking, not reacting. People start coming to you for advice. They ask how you stay so calm under pressure. And the best part, none of this requires you to be born smart. It just requires awareness, patience, and intentional thinking. That's what real intelligence looks like. Now, here's what I want you to do. Don't try to master all 5 habits at once. That's how most people fail. Pick just one. Maybe it's pausing before you react. Maybe it's asking questions instead of arguing. Maybe it's focusing only on what you can control. Choose one habit and practice it for the next 7 days. Small changes, done consistently, create massive results. If this helped you, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. I share videos like this every week, videos that help you think clearly, build confidence, and handle life better. If you got value from this, hit the like button so more people can find these ideas, and leave a comment below telling me which habit you're starting with. I read every comment, and I love seeing your progress. Remember, you don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to start thinking differently, one habit at a time. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you in the next video.